I had a call with a client this morning, a badass realtor who does luxury real estate listings. And she's awesome, but she asked me one question. Where are all the good dudes? And I told her, I said, the good dudes are out walking around a lake in the woods recording TikToks. No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. You can laugh. But honestly, I told her, hey, all the good guys that you're looking for, they keep to themselves. And good guys are not available for long. Women snatch them up, right? Guys that work on themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, academically, and financially. Those good guys typically are not found on the apps. And they're found in real life, and they're usually pretty reclusive because they're working, they're building, they're growing, and they're learning. And they're focused on those goals instead of making themselves fully available because they don't want to prioritize a relationship over the thing that they're working on. And that's the truth, okay? You're not gonna find the most amazing guys on the apps. And if you're sick and tired of being in the dating world and looking for good men, eventually you're just gonna forego on your boundaries and what you want. You're gonna settle for less. And this was her case. Her ex, in this case, really successful guy, doctor, right? But a broken marriage and in a somewhat very emasculating situation with the ex-wife and the kids. And dating her, it seems like he's a little bit intimidated by her success. And so he's failing on a certain number of things, but still remaining in contact, but not really growing, but trending in the right direction, doing some of the things. And we talked about some of the things that she should be looking for. So this video is essentially a message to the ladies from what I've seen, because about 60% of my clients are female and about 40% are men. And a lot of my clients, dudes that are in their 20s and 30s, working, growing, learning, adapting, right? Some in their 40s. And I typically don't work with a lot of guys in their late 40s, 50s, or 60s because of one thing. And I told her this. I said, a lot of guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s feel like they have their shit together, or they should, or they're so tied into their ego and holding on to the identity that they should be somewhere that they're not. And it's really hard for them to forego that conclusion that, okay, maybe I'm not where I thought I am. And okay, I need help, because they think that they should be the guys that other people go to for help. And they're right, but you're a human being. And sometimes we fail at shit, and sometimes we do need help. And when they do reach out and do admit that there's a problem, or do admit that they need to learn something or grow somewhere, that's a great thing. That should be applauded, not torn down. Anyways, message for the dudes that are working, growing, learning, focusing on something that they're achieving or building. Kudos to you. Keep doing that. Even if you're a dude that's looking for your next partner, you don't necessarily need to go to the apps, because the converse applies, okay? A lot of women that are on the apps are looking for that partner, and they put a lot of pressure into it. And as you should. But as I told my client today, who's a woman, I told her, I said, don't forego your boundaries. You don't need to go on the apps. You don't need to settle for less. You don't need to settle for subpar conversations. Look for those red flags. If you want to talk on the apps, that's fine. Use that as experience, but don't put all of your pressure into doing that, because the best way is to meet someone in real life. When you meet someone in real life, you show up. There's nowhere to hide. You're not showing them your highlights. You're not showing them your photos with hundreds or thousands of likes. It's you and whatever you're wearing. There's nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. And you can see how somebody thinks, see how they dress, see them in real life. That's always the best way to meet someone. And if you're not meeting people in real life, get out there, go for it, okay? Hopefully this helps, provides a little bit of clarity, but for the dudes that are working on themselves, keep going. And if you're an older dude, you still got something to work on, because we always do. Hey, work on that stuff, get back on the train. You're not dead yet, you're undefeated. Every day of your life thus far, if you're watching this video, you're undefeated. Congratulations, that's a win. Ladies, know your red flags, don't settle for less, but at the same time, don't go emasculating men, right? Men need to be applauded and appreciated and needed as well. So find ways to need them in ways that's mutually beneficial for both of you. Relationships are a give and take, 50-50, right? I get it, you all want the prince who's never had a bad situation or baggage, but we're people, we're human beings. We're inevitably faulted, okay? Accept that not everybody's perfect, accept that the 6-inch rule, the 6 figures, and the 6 feet tall rule applies to like 0.002% of all available men out there, right? Then you add in emotional intelligence, has a good body, all of these things, has a good job, finances, you add in all of that stuff, that number gets even lower, okay? So hang in there, stay positive, keep doing what you're doing. See you in the next one.